welcome to a delayed edition of the Derby Debrief with Owen Bradley and former Derby County captain Shaun alongside. Derby County go into the first international break of this new championship season, still waiting for their first win after we had goals, penalties and late drama in a 2-2 draw at Ipswich this afternoon. And the promotion favourites went in front in the first half. Jacob Greaves with a header to put them 1-0 up. All the drama really came after the break. First, Carlton Morris equalising from the penalty spot for Derby before Rhian Brewster put them in front with his first Derby goal. But in the 116th minute, Jack Clark made it 2-2. That was from the penalty spot as well after a foul from David Ozo. You'll hear from John Eustace shortly. We'll get reaction from Rhian Brewster as well. It's a funny one, Shaun Barker, because if at the start of the day you said Derby would get a point at Ipswich, they would score 2 goals, you would think brilliant. And there is so much to be encouraged about from today. But to concede an equaliser that late, I mean, it stings, right?
It does, but I think it's important that we focus on the positives this afternoon. First off, we get a positive result. There was a positive performance, and you're playing against one of the teams that's going to be right up there at the end of the season. So in terms of looking at the game as a whole, the boys that are new to the club came in and performed well. You could see a different way of playing, and obviously we got ourselves ahead, and it was only that final few minutes where they scored from the penalty that got them back into the game. So many positives. It does hurt, it stings because of the timing, because of how well and how little we offered Ipswich in terms of chances in that second half. So lots of positives to take. Disappointment, of course. Set pieces, we need to be better. And of course, we've conceded numerous times in the final few minutes. So lots to work on, but at the same time, so many positives to take from the game.
We'll talk through the big decisions and the goals in a moment or two after we've heard from John Eustace. But are we seeing, we certainly saw it, I think, a little bit late on against Bristol City. I think we saw signs Tuesday night. Again, are we seeing today with the debutants, Max Johnson in, Lewis Travis in, are we seeing what John Eustace wants from his Derby County this season?
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We've got the players in there. I thought Brewster and Clark were very good, especially in the little pockets and making forward runs. It was those two that were involved in the penalty that obviously Morris took. I thought Johnson fitted in superbly at right wing back. He looks physical, he looks quick, he looks direct, and you can see he wants to go and support the play. Travis, we know what we're going to get. He's going to be tenacious. He's going to try and dictate the play. He's a solid kind of championship player and has been for a good few seasons now. So yes, there were signs, there were moments. I thought we started both halves extremely well. We started the game, I thought, the first 10-15 minutes with a better side. My disappointment in the first 45 minutes is we just started to drift back a little bit. We were almost going into a low block and waiting to counter, but actually we're causing them problems further up the pitch, being aggressive, being on the front foot, and that's how we started the second half. So some really positive moments. It's starting to look a little bit more like the John Eustace side. The starting 11, better players than we've had. The squad looks stronger, and of course we're missing 3 or 4 players still looking to return. So some positive signs this afternoon.
Let's get some reaction from Portman Road, then we can hear from the Derby boss, John Eustace.
We were excellent. We really took the game to Ipswich. We conceded a really sloppy goal from a set piece, which isn't like us at all. Could have been a foul on the goalkeeper. And then for the last 10-15 minutes, I think in the first half, we were under a lot of pressure. And it took us a little bit of time to regroup, which we did at half time. And then we came out that second half, and I thought we were excellent again. You know, we scored 2 great goals, limited the Ipswich to next to nothing. Always looked a threat on the transition. And then, you know, obviously when you see 13-14 minutes come up at the end of the game, you know, it's crazy. But, you know, the group battled, they worked their socks off, and I couldn't ask any more from them.
You mentioned there about the quality of the goals. Obviously, Carlton Morris's was a penalty, but the ball through from Bobby Clark was tremendous, and Rhian Brewster's shot was clearly handballed. And then the quality of Rhian's goal as well, brilliant goals.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, we're bringing in top players for them moments. You know, when you're playing in the Championship, them moments are key, and if you've got good players who can finish, then that's what it's all about. And we're very lucky that we've got Rhian, we've got Carlton, we've got Bobby, You know, I thought the back five were excellent today. The wing backs, I mean, Max for his first championship start away at Ipswich against top performers out there. I thought he was great. Lewis Travis coming in, considering he hasn't played for 3 weeks, did well for 70, 80 minutes. So listen, there's loads of positives to take out of the game.
In terms of those positives, I appreciate you concede late on and it's really gut wrenching. But are you coming away feeling, having seen that performance, and you've mentioned that you're on catch-up as well, that you're seeing that sort of performance when there's still more to come from your team?
I think it's very evident that there's a lot more to come from the group. We need to get players fit. We need to get a formation that we're going to be good in possession and out of possession. But we're making huge strides forward, I feel. Today was a great example of that. First half an hour, I thought we played really well, mixed our football up really well, and the way we started the second half was really pleasing as well. We've scored in every game up to now that we've played in, which is good. We've got to cut out some silly errors at the end of games. Of course, we have got to see them through. But listen, it's not how you start the season; it's how you finish, and we're making good steps forward. We're going to get this group fit. And firing, and it's going to be all about the squad. The squad of players, that 25 players, when they're named next week, all going to be very hungry and ready to go.
In terms of the fitness then, is the international break quite a key time for you really, not just in terms of work on the training ground, but building players up, because you've had players with so many varying sort of schedules, I guess, at the moment?
Yeah, listen, the longer the players are on the grass, the better. We've got a few going away for international break, which is a shame because we could have done with some good work on the training field with them. But, we've got players coming back from injury. I mean, Lars to be on the bench was a massive plus for us today. It was great to have him back in the squad. That's come a little bit early. We've got Patrick in full training now. So we've got some really good options coming back, and it's just important that we keep building, keep growing. You can see that the group's getting better. We're growing, and that's what it's all about.
You mentioned Max and Lewis there. I think they had 1-2 training sessions, and they're coming in and putting in performances like that. That must be so pleasing for you that they'll come in and say, right, I'm up for it, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and the players that we sign, that's what I want. We want leaders, we want championship hardened players to help the group, and I thought both of them boys today were outstanding. I thought Carlton Morris on his own up there at times was unbelievable. The way he dominated 2 top centre-halves there, today for the whole 105 minutes, whatever it was great. And as I say, listen, there's lots of positives to take out of today. We're going to grow, we're going to get better, and it's important that we just stick together whatever happens and just enjoy the journey.
And just lastly on those positives, again, when the season was started, we knew it was going to be tough. I would imagine there isn't many championship teams that have had as tough a start as we've had.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who you play in the Championship. We could have easily got a point at Stoke if we would have defended properly in that last minute. We should have got something out of the Coventry game if we see that game out properly as well. We're playing against top opposition, which is fine. The Championship's a difficult league, but all I worry about is my team. And we've got to cut silly mistakes out. We've got to see games through. We're going to be, we'll do that as the season goes on. And I think that's the most exciting thing for me, that this group's got a lot more to give. And we'll see where we end up at the end.
That's Derby boss John Eustace with his assessment of today's game. Derby drawing at Ipswich, among the favourites to be promoted straight back to the Premier League this season. I know they have not had a great start, Shaun, but I still think they'll be there or thereabouts based on some of the things we saw from them today, which gives me a lot of encouragement about what we're going to see from Derby, especially when you look at the goals that Derby can see today. I know every goal is avoidable to a certain extent, but both goals, obviously the second, the penalty, the first, certainly the header from Jacob Greaves from a corner, disappointing from Derby's point of view?
Absolutely. Set pieces, you want to be strong, you want to win your duels, your battles, your aerial duels. Setterstrom wasn't strong enough. I think he had to get around maybe the smallest player on the pitch to go punch it, and got nowhere near it. And the reality is, I think it was Greaves had a chance maybe 2 minutes before that and was unmarked.
He did.
And it was him at the far post that nodded it home. So those things you have to clean up on. If you want to compete in this division, your set pieces in and out of possession are key. And we understood the importance of that last season with John when we survived. So that needs working on, absolutely. It was a cheap penalty to give away at the end from Ozo, diving in, sticking a leg out. Now, at that point of the game, when it's been that intense for so long, the referees with the home crowd is always likely to give that penalty. So some frustrating things in terms of Ipswich. They're a good side, no doubt about it. The disappointing thing for me in the probably last 10 minutes of the first half is how deep we sat. Now, towards the end of the game, understandably, you're holding on to the victory. Hopefully, you're trying to make it difficult for them. But when we pressed, when we were more aggressive, when we were more on the front foot and didn't allow Ipswich that time, they found it look much more difficult. So I think we could take positives from that as well, that we know that we've got the players, one, to go out and press, and we've got the energy and the understanding, but also that the back three can defend it. And I have to point out, I thought Sanderson was excellent again. He had his tough first few games. I was critical of a couple of the goals that were conceded, but the last couple of games have been outstanding. You can see why John was keen to bring him in.
In terms of Derby's goals, well, in fact, let's talk about the big decisions firstly. Penalty at the end, I think we're agreed it is a penalty. Ipswich probably should have had one earlier on, the Clark challenge on Hurst, that Hurst gets booked for simulation. Derby's penalty, that's nailed on as well, right?
Absolutely.
Right decision?
Yeah, there's a couple of big decisions. He got most of them right in terms of the moments in the box. I think Clark's a little bit fortunate. He does lead with his left leg, but he catches Hurst's right heel as he's driving through. And as soon as there's contact, if you haven't made contact with the ball, it's a penalty. So Clark's a little bit lucky. Obviously, we're delighted that the referee didn't give that. But it was an entertaining game. Two teams that were going toe-to-toe. I thought they both had spells in the game. And again, I thought we started the game really well. Started the second half exactly how you want, because we were a bit passive in the final 10 minutes of the first half. Ipswich dominated. They played through the lines. They had loads of joy. The two full-backs were on the edge of the box and they're having chances. If we continued like that, we would have found it difficult in the second half. But much more front-footed, more aggressive, more dominant. And ultimately, we had the moments of quality. The Brewster goal was something special. To take it past 2 or 3 players and finish the way he did is a little sign of the quality we've got with him.
He's got something about David McGoldrick about him to me, just in terms of the movement and some of the touches that we see. And as you say, took that goal to put Derby in front wonderfully well.
Yeah, he did, but you have to mention Clark in that as well. It was Clark's pass that found the run. So we've talked about the importance of Morris. We understand the quality he brings, how he entertains centre-halves. He's already got 4 in 4 in the league. So we've got the all-round 9 that we've been looking for a good few years, in my opinion. What you have to have is players that understand how to play off that. And I thought Clark and Brewster in the game did that superbly. For the first penalty, Morris dropped. Clark got it off him. He played a forward pass. Brewster got in behind, and obviously it was the handball for the penalty. And they had those moments in the game. That little bit of understanding. If you're playing 2 off the centre forward, you've not only got to support in front of your number 9, you've also got to make runs beyond. And I thought they did that well.
Carlton Morris, by the way, 4 in 4 for him. Not quite the Championship top scorer, because Josh Sargent scored twice for Norwich today. We'll bring you all the results from the Championship today in a moment or two. But let's get some more reaction. We can hear from the man who got his first Derby goal this afternoon, Rhian at Brewster.
You know, obviously we're disappointed not to take away the 3 points, because we worked so hard. You know, from the first minute, I thought we was in the game for the whole 105 minutes, and reflecting at the game, we've got so many positives to take from it, but also some negatives that we will only get better, and that we can work on now in a 2-week period to get better at, and also the positives.
Is that the biggest frustration, that you played so well for certain periods and worked so hard over what was actually 100 minutes in the end?
Yeah, 100 minutes, yeah. We worked so hard, like, what was it, 105, 106 minutes, until they got the pen. Couldn't really see us conceding at the end, because, you know, we defended really well. You know, everyone as a team, the whole 11. But yeah, it's just disappointing, you know, just to concede like that. Obviously the pen at the end, but, you know, we're going to stick together, work hard as a team, work hard over the next 2 weeks, and take the positives into West Brom, and also the negatives to make even better.
You obviously showed a lot of character to come from behind and take the lead. What are the positives did you see out there?
Yeah, you know, we keep going to the end. We keep going no matter what. I think that's the culture that we've got, you know, with the gaffer and with the players that he's bringing with us. Yeah, but we probably need to stop going behind and trying to come back. You know, hopefully we can start taking the lead and keeping it, and, you know, maybe win 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You know.
Personally, your first goal for the club, and it was a special goal as well. How pleasing was that moment for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to do it in front of the fans as well, you know, to celebrate in front of them. You know, my family and my friends are up in the crowd as well. So it was good, you know, to celebrate right in front of them as well. And yeah, it was a good goal. But I need to keep working hard and score more goals.
But you want to keep working. That's 2 starts in a row now. Do you feel more up to speed?
Yeah, obviously I didn't have a pre-season, so I was coming in a bit later, trying to get fit, trying to work hard, and I've been doing that, and it was my second start now, and my legs were getting tired towards the end, but I'm only gonna get fitter with the more I play and more I train and work hard off the pitch that probably you guys don't see. That I'm going to keep working hard to get fitter so I can last 106 minutes if that's what it takes. But I feel fitter and fitter every time I play, so just got to continue and doing it.
International break now. There, you've got the international break now as well to keep preparing, keep working hard.
Yeah, no, of course, everyone thinks the international break's a little bit of a chill, but we're going to go to the training ground, and the days that we're in, we're going to work hard and keep going and pushing because, like I said, we're disappointed not to come away with the 3 points today, and maybe it was fatiguing towards the end, so we need to get fitter and better as a team and stick together.
That's Derby goal scorer this afternoon, Rhian Brewster. Results from the Championship this weekend then. Victory for Leicester last night. They have started strongest of the 3 relegated sides. Middlesbrough, the only team in the Championship left with a 100% record, beating Sheffield United. What a difficult start to the season. They have had Stoke's 100% start is over. They were beaten by West Brom in another of the lunchtime games. In the 3 o'clocks, big win for Bristol City. They beat Hull. Coventry held by Oxford, but 3 of the 4 teams that Derby have faced in these opening 4 matches of the season are in the top 6 as we get to the break. Worth mentioning Sheffield Wednesday as well, who lost at home again, this time to Swansea. So that is just about it from us for now. There's more reaction to today's game as ever if you want it on the website dcfc.co.uk. We'll see you after the international break. From me, Barks, and the rest of the team, goodbye.